Hey everybody, coming to you with a video here late at night because I got nothing better to do. So I want to talk to you about, now for future warning here, this is going to be a nerd video. So if you're not into water chemistry or anything like that, then go ahead and skip on by. But for you guys that are, you're going to enjoy this, maybe. I'm going to do my best. We're talking about general hardness, carbonate hardness, and your aquarium, of course. Now, what I want to talk about specifically, first off, we're just going to jump right into it. My tap water, it takes 15 drops of this carbonate hardness solution to turn it from blue to this yellow color. It takes 15 drops to turn 5 milliliters of water from blue to this yellow. What does that mean? 15 drops means 15 degrees of carbonate hardness, or 268.5 parts per million carbonate hardness water. Same thing with general hardness. It takes 24 drops, or my water has 429.6 parts per million of whatever the heck that means. Stuff in the water. Total dissolved solids, kind of, in a way, if that makes sense. Now, we'll talk about this thing here in a minute. We're talking about my 60-gallon breeder here. Aquarium that hasn't had a water change in a little over a month. It has driftwood, live plants, and some inert sand with South American cichlids. So in 30 days without a water change, coming from pure tap water, so these numbers going directly into the tank. Now, mind you, this driftwood is aged, so it does not put off as many tannins as it used to, and it has less beneficial principle to it, if that makes sense. Anyways, after about a month, the water is testing at 10 drops carbonate hardness, or 179 parts per million. General hardness is 22 drops, or 393.8 parts per million. Now, at the end of the day, the numbers are, I decreased my carbonate hardness by 33%, or it decreased 89.5 parts per million. General hardness decreased 8.33%, or 35.8 parts per million. So basically, to put it straight and simple as possible, after 30 days, my carbonate hardness went down 33%. That would put off enough tannins or whatever it needed to do to lower that pH enough to cause that carbonate hardness to drop 33%. Same thing with the general hardness. It brought out enough tannins or whatever was in there between additives and stuff like that. It brought down that pH low enough to decrease that general hardness by 8.33%. So that's the basic idea. Here I test my fridge water, which goes through a filter somehow. Now, I don't know the exact chemistry behind what that filter is made up of, mostly carbon, I'd imagine, but my carbonate hardness, unless I tested wrong, appears to have gone up by 2 drops, or up to 304.3 parts per million, which, about 40 or so, or 30 or so parts per million difference. Leave a comment down below if you know what that's about. Maybe you know more about fridge filters than I do, but I'm not sure exactly how that worked. Maybe the pH level's higher, so it has a harder water to it, but what is weird is the general hardness stayed the same. So anyways, that's enough about that. Let's move on to another quick little subject here. For those of you that know water chemistry, you know that doing a water change alters your water parameters, such as ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, things such as that. Your pH, obviously, alkalinity for you guys, or not alkalinity, salinity for you guys that are doing salt water, for God's sakes, I can't speak. But what that means is it can shock certain fish. Here I have a bunch of South American cichlids and some tetras from South America and silver dollars, stuff like that, that can be sensitive to hard water. But as long as the parameters are stable rather than constantly bouncing around trying to get them perfect, then these fish are most of the time happy. But I will admit these fish are not 100% due to some different limiting factors, such as my water that goes into the tank during a water change. For example, if I were to change, 25% of the water, going from 179 parts per million carbonate hardness, that number is going to go, you know, whatever, 25% of that number. I'm going to increase 25% on that number, if my math is correct, if that makes sense. Same thing with the general hardness. So that's something you need to watch. Whenever you do a water change, you're going to be increasing your hardness. Generally speaking, where you live, I guess it all depends on what your tap water is. But it is going to increase that, whatever, hardness, carbonate hardness, general hardness. Unless you're using RO/DI water, of course, which I don't because it's expensive. I don't have a system set up for that. And these fish do just fine. But again, at the end of the day, I will admit they do not thrive as best as they could because they are in extremely hard water, to be honest with you. Our tap water is ridiculously hard here. It's hard on everything. Hard on our plumbing, hard on our clothes, hard on us. If we drink it, you can just tell everything gets a calcium buildup on it and so on and so forth. That's how it works. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to, I guess, nerd out here on some of that stuff there. So if you weren't aware, now you're aware. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. I like to ramble quite a bit, especially middle of the night stuff like this when I have nothing else to do. I get all mad scientist like and do just like I'm doing now, rambling. So anyways, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment, please. Let me know what you think about the video and stay tuned for more. We'll see you later.